D, wait for it, Lightful.
Check out the name tag. You're in my world now, Grandma.
What's up, nerds? So, I'm coming at you because it's late at night here for me. I just got off work, and I watched. This is actually I watched this episode of Peacemaker, episode 7, and I watched this yesterday and everything. And believe it or not, I already recorded this breakdown review once, but I had some technical difficulties. And it didn't, I don't have the video, so I have to re-record this sucker. But fortunately for me, it happened right before I had to head off to my 9 to 5. So I had to come home and re-record this sucker. It bums me out because I was just fresh off of the episode, so I kind of remembered everything, and now I'm all like, man, I'm pretty sure I won't remember everything that I said before. I said some funny stuff too. I was like, man, I wish I remember all. But anyways, now that I'm done with that nonsense, first off, I'm really glad that I have HBO Max still. I have it until March because I did the annual thing. And then I'm really glad that this show came out before my subscription ended, because I don't know if I'm going to keep it or not, but we'll see. We'll see. But this show is really, really good. I really like this show. I thought I went into it thinking it was going to suck. And this is why, because I liked Suicide Squad and everything, but I went into this because DC has burned us so hard so many times that I'm just like, I don't know, man. I'm like, I don't know what to expect from this, but I really like it. James Gunn is I think me and him have the same sense of humor because I laugh during these. I laugh at parts I'm not supposed to, but I'm all like, I don't know, it's kind of funny. Like that vigilante man, he makes me laugh a lot. And then just the character development of Peacemaker, Chris, this is really good stuff. It's really good stuff. And and just even the way he writes Augie Smith, his dad, White Dragon, it's really good. I mean, he's a horrible person. He's like a deplorable person and everything, but the character is written so good, and I really like this show. So, all right, I'm gonna stop licking this show's taint and James Gunn's taint, and I'm going to get started on this breakdown review. But before I do, I just want to say that if you like what I do here and you enjoy independent content here on YouTube, please consider subscribing to my channel. YouTube is always changing up their algorithm, and small channels like mine, we always get shoved to the back of the line. So I please ask that you like, share, and subscribe, and I thank you in advance. So now that I'm done with that, let's get started on this breakdown. So it starts off with a flashback, and it's Peacemaker, Chris, and his brother, and they're just jamming out to old 80s hairband music and everything. And he does this thing, and he's all like, what is that? Does that mean white power? And he's like, no, it's the devil and everything. And he's like, and everything. And they're just rocking out, being like young kids and everything. And I liked this camaraderie between him and his brother because, even though his dad messes him up and probably would have messed his brother up, I do like seeing that brother relationship. I have two brothers and a sister. I love all of them, but I have a twin brother, and me and him get along very well. And we used to do stupid stuff like this too. So anyways, okay, so then this old man, man, he's got some big titties. Like, what is that, like? That's like a D cup, like, man. And he's like, your dad is ready for you and everything. And you get all these podunk people, which I don't know if this was good, like setting into stereotypes, but at the same time, I'm all like, this stuff probably does happen. So they're excited because their dad has set up a fight club with his two sons. And I just want to say real quick, even though a lot right now in Hollywood, they do this trope that's really getting on my nerves, where it's the bad dad trope. Because I'm a father, and I think I'm a decent dad. I mean, I try to be present as much as possible. But I think that this dad being deplorable really helps with the story, but he is a horrible parent. I would have called CPS on him, even if I was one of these people who are also monstrous human beings because they're watching a fight club with children. So, anyways, so they get in the ring and this guy's like, no holds barred and everything. And and the dad's taking bets. I forgot about this. He's taking bets. And I was like, come on. Like, this stuff happens in real life. And it really, I'm so bothered by it. I know it's like it's a show, Matt. Calm down. But it really is like it bothers me so much. Anyways, so he's having some PSD from that, and he punches his brother, and he lands and he starts. I think he's having a seizure. I'm not a medical expert. I don't know anything about medicine. I just think that's what's happening, because that's what I've seen in TV shows and everything. But it's very, and he's like, oh, he's doing the worm. And I'm like, that's not how the worm goes, buddy. But he obviously punched him in a spot on his body that was fatal. And that can happen. So he, it passes out and his dad's all like, checking him. He's like, you killed him. You killed your brother and everything. And it's really sad. And he's like remembering that. But then he comes out and it goes back to Captain Locke. And Locke is putting out this press conference. It says press conference. And they're looking for Peacemaker because they need to find him. And they talk about the journal. And he's like, hey, dude, I thought you said you didn't have a journal. He's like, I don't have a journal. And besides, a diary. He's like, besides, if I did have a diary, it wouldn't be called a diary. It'd be called a journal and everything. And he's like, I'm leaving. Are you coming with me? Kind of thing. And there's like, hey, where's Judo Master? And he's like, wasn't he supposed to be there? And he's like, it doesn't matter. We're leaving. So then White Dragon and his deplorables, these KKK members with their hoods. This is a little disturbing, I have to admit, but at the same time, it helps with the story. Anyways, so he's all like, the helmets, they have tracking devices in them. Those ones are at the police station, so they've been confiscated, but the other ones are somewhere else. So he's got them, and so they're going to leave, but they get Diebeard to come with them to help him out or whatever. He's like, oh, I'm going to go with. So then she's sitting here and in her hotel room, and Harcourt comes up and she's like, you planted the diary. Amanda Waller sent you all this stuff. And I can't remember what a bio says to her. I can't remember what she says, but it was good. I'm sorry. And she's like, I lost my job and my mom sent me here because she thought it would help. She's like, your mom is Amanda Waller and everything. And then Myrn comes in and he's all like, she's like, she's Amanda Waller's daughter. And he's like, yeah, I knew that. And she's like, and you didn't tell anybody? He's like, you knew that? And he's like, yeah, I did a background check and everything. He's like, we need to get out of here because the butterflies have infiltrated Locke and they have all his memories and they know where we are. So then at this gas station, these two dudes right here, sorry, I didn't get a screen grab of them beforehand. They come up on Judo Master and he's just sitting there eating those fiery, red hot fiery Cheetos. I don't remember what they are, but they're delicious. I love spicy food, except that shit runs through me like hardcore. Like spicy food is delicious and I love it, but man, does it fucks up my body so hard. Oh man, I just love the way it burns my mouth. I'm all like, oh, I can't feel my lips. Anyways. And you ever do that thing when you were a kid where you eat something like really spicy, you'd be like, ah, like you were going to breathe fire, like, and like people could see your out breath. I know I'm weird. Anyways. So they're like sitting there making, and this kid is, he's all like, oh, you remind me of a leprechaun. And he does like this and everything. And obviously Judo Master does not like that. You making fun of his height. I don't know if Judo Master is supposed to be a kid or if he's supposed to be like an adult, but he's like very short. I don't know what he's supposed to be. I don't know this character. I think this is a comic book character. I'm like 99% sure it is, but I don't know. I've never read a comic book with him in it, but I do like that James Gunn likes to pick these like obscure characters and bring them to life and everything. Okay. So she's sitting here and she's trying to call Peacemaker, but he's rocking it out in the van with Diebeard and Vigilante. And he's like, it's never a wrong time to rock out. Truer words have never been spoken. So the white supremacist and White Dragon are following them because they're going to kill him. And he's flying above. Now, I have to admit, this suit is pretty cool. But they're sitting there rocking it out. And White Dragon comes in and he just hurls right into it. and knocks it over. So then, but then he comes in and he punches his way through and he's like, I'm here to kill you and everything. And Vigilante gets knocked out and everything, but he starts shooting a gun at his, White Dragon and the white supremacist. And he throws a grenade and it blows up and everything. And they're all like, oh, what happened and everything. And Vigilante, sorry, I didn't grab the screen grab and everything, but Vigilante is behind this tree. And the other two run the other way about here. And so they're like, we're gonna find him because we got the helmet to track him. And they get in there. And he's like, how did he track us? He's like, crap. So he takes off the helmet and they attach it to a raccoon. Sorry, I forgot to grab a screen grab of that. My bad. She's like, and this woman is all like, they're this way and everything. And they go to chase him. Oh, and one thing is, they leave the one of the white supremacists leaves his keys in the car, and Vigilante steals it. Sorry, I didn't grab the screen grabs from that, but it was very funny. Like I laughed so hard. And they're like, "You left the keys in the car," and he's like, "I was in a rush" or whatever. And I was like, "That's so funny, so funny." So then, coming out of this gas station, these two dudes get attacked by Judo Master, and he smashes this one's head into the window here, knocking him out. And then this guy, he like socks him in the throat. And he's like, and everything. And then he's all like, to him, like mocking him because he was mocking before. And I'm all like, that is so funny. Judo Master's funny. I'm glad they didn't kill him. I hope he sticks around. I hope he helps him out, like going to attack the butterfly farm. And so he knocks him out. And this guy, gas station guy, is happy he's happy about Asian on Asian crime. And he gets in their car and he steals it. Real quick, don't attack people. It's not okay. Even if they make fun of you, you can't just be hitting people. Although Judo Master's pretty bad ace, so he's all like, don't mock me, punk. And I love how he picked up his Cheetos and drove away in the car. Anyway, so back at the motel or hotel, sorry. He sees the cops are there. So yeah, and she sees they're there too. So she hides and everything. And Adebayo comes by and she's all like, what's going on? And she's like, hide and everything. And then we get these the white supremacists in the woods and they're looking for Peacemaker, but they're like, oh, he's moving so sporadically and everything. And he's Diebeard's all like, I never expected somebody, you could just walk up to a raccoon and grab it or kind of whatnot. So then while Vigilante's in the car, because he sustained injuries, he passes out. And it's pretty funny and everything. Then Mern is here in his apartment. He's like, I'm not going to be able to get out of here. So he's preparing himself. So he zip ties the walkie-talkie. For all you youngsters out there, that's like a communication device, kind of like a cell phone, but not. And he zip ties it so it's constantly talking so they can hear him on their walkie-talkie. Adebayo can hear him. They break in and he shoots two of them, but then they get him and they hold him down until the queen bee comes in. Now, I saw something online about how this could be Madame Butterfly from the comic books, but I don't know that character either. Like I said before, James Gunn likes to pick these obscure characters, which I'm totally cool with. I think that Peacemaker, I knew who Peacemaker was, but I had never like read a Peacemaker comic book. But the only one in this show that I absolutely knew who it was Vigilante. Like I've read Vigilante comic books with Vigilante, and I haven't read a Vigilante comic books. And he was on Arrow, so I knew him from there. So anyway, so they shoot him and kill him, but they all of a sudden the butterfly that's in there comes out and he tries to fly away and she grabs him. I'm like, oh man, I honestly thought he was going to get away for a second and like go into somebody else. And she grabs him. She's all like, and she says his name. I don't remember what she says. She's like, you could have just joined us. And then she crushes him and then she throws him away. And then this butterfly that's inhabited this place, he's like, you killed him. And she's like, he's a warrior. Without them, they're nothing. It's just two, costume freaks and two rejects or whatever. And so they're all like, oh, what a douche. So then they go in there and they see that he's dead. And then they find the little alien and she picks him up and he puts out his little hand and she like ET's that shit. She's all like, ET phone home and stuff. I was like, oh, that's so sad. And then he dies. So then she's bummed she's like, what are we going to do? And then right away, Judo Master comes in. He's like, hi, and everything. And he attacks them, and she's fighting him off, and she's doing a pretty good job. She like does this like flippy flip move, like where she's up top of him, and then she like flips over. I can't do it because I'm sitting down, and you wouldn't want to see me do it anyways, because I'd screw it up. But anyways, they're fighting, and then he like wraps these bandages and makes like a little claw thingy, and he's taking her down, like he's punching her right in the face, and she's smiling like I almost expected her to be like, you punch like a girl, but she didn't. She says something about Adebayo coming behind him, and she zaps him with a taser gun, like one of those things, and he knocks him out. I love that. I love that. I don't even remember what she says. I'm sorry, you guys, but it was pretty funny. But look at her face. She's all like, "You take that, biatch," and everything. So good. So white supremacists, they're looking for him, and they find the raccoon with the helmet. And they're all like, "Oh," and everything. So they find Vigilante in the car passed out, and they're like, "Hey, wake up, get out of the way." And so they're driving, and they're like, he was able to track me through the helmets. And Vigilante, sorry, it's very dry here because of winter. And so Vigilante, he's all like, through the helmets, he's like, oh, and he's like, they put him in the back, and he's like, they looked expensive and everything. And he's like, I gotta pee really bad. So he goes into the woods and pees. And then Vigilante goes to get rid of the helmets, and he goes to throw them in the woods. And he's like, get Eagly back in the car. And he's like, just get in the car and wiggle a bag of chips, and he'll get in the car and everything. And so the white supremacists find him. And so then Eagly's ready. Like, I like Eagly. He's so stinking cute. That little Eagly. His name reminds me of South Park, that's Christmas special is like Bear E the bear, and then Chickadee E the chickadee. So funny. Eagly the eagle. Anyways, so he's running. This guy gets in the car and crawls through it to the other side or whatever to get away. And then they're beating on him, and he crawls to Vigilante, and he's like, and Vigilante has his pants down. I would have showed you, but I don't want to show you his naked butt because I don't want to get in trouble with YouTube. But he's like, why do you have your pants down? He's like, I can't pee if clothing is touching my butt. And I was like, that's funny. I was like, I know people that have weird stuff like that. And it's weird, but hey, if that's your thing, I get it. I kind of get it. I don't have that process, but whatever. Anyways, very little kiddish. But whatever. Anyways, so then they're fighting. Eagly is attacking these punks left and right, but he makes the golden rule and tries to attack White Dragon. And White Dragon smacks him down, but that pisses Chris off, and he runs towards him and tackles him. And he gets knocked off through White Dragon's little boomy booms in his fists. And he's like, I should have killed you. He's like, I knew you were rotten when you were born, and I should have killed you a long time ago. I should have killed you when you killed your brother or something like that. I can't remember. He's like, but I'm going to do it now. And he gets ready to kill him. But then Vigilante jumps on his back, and he's like, something about the armor. He's like, there's the weaknesses in the armor. And so he cuts the armor and breaks it. And then Diebeard shoots all the white supremacists. Good for you, Diebeard. There's no need for hate in this world and everything. And then he goes ready to kill Chris with his little laser fists, but they don't work because it's broken. And so he gets up and he punches him, and he keeps punching him, and he's like, you punch like a girl. And then he's like, and then he's all like, you killed your brother. And he's like, you killed your brother, or you killed him. And he's right, because he killed him. He made them fight against each other. And if he wouldn't have done that and taken bets, so disgusting. What a vomitous human being. He wouldn't have died. So he's like, kill me. He's like, I know you won't do it. He's like, I'll always be there in the back of your mind and everything. So, but then he shoots him, and look at his dumb face. He's all like, oh crap, he did it. You little idiot. That's the thing. When you're in a heated instance and somebody's got a gun, don't say, shoot me then, because they will shoot you. They're not thinking right. In this case, the world isn't missing out, But this is obviously emotion. It's very cathartic for him. So he starts crying. And I did like Vigilante. He's like, dude, this is not a time to start doing your facial exercises. Although your face is really jacked or whatever. I can't remember he said his words, but he's like, dude, he's fucking crying. And he's like, oh, and then he goes to tap. He's like light taps on the back. And he's like, dude, that's really weird. So then back at the motel or hotel, Adebayo is like, let me clean you up and everything. She's like, what did you do before this? And she's like, I worked at a dog pound. and a lot, but and then I can't remember what she says after that. I can't remember. So then they get the call. Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry. It's so late. I'm so sorry. And they go to this veterinarian's office, veterinary. And Diebeard's all like, the veterinarian helped eagerly, but Vigilante has them all hostage, and he's all like, they've seen our faces, we have to kill them. He's like, this veterinarian, this nurse, and then this male nurse. And they're like, you can just say nurses. He's like, I can't remember what he says, but it's pretty funny. That Vigilante, he's like, we have to kill them, they've seen our faces. And she's like, do we have to kill him? He's like, no, and everything. So Adebayo gets a call from her wife, and she's like, I'm going to take this out in the hallway. And they're all like, we need to tape them. We need to, we're going to tie them up, and then we'll leave and everything. And, and then they'll be found by the morning staff or whatever. And he's like, we have to tie them down. We can't tape them because when they rip the tape off, it'll hurt their skin. And Diebeard's all like, you care about their skin, but you don't care about murdering them in cold blood. He's like, no. And I was like, that's so funny. Look at his face. It's so funny. I just like, he's like, no, because he has like no emotion, like, what is that called? Is that just a plain old psychopath? I don't remember. I don't know. Doesn't matter. So she takes the call, but while she's doing this, Chris is like crying over Eagly. And I can tell you, look at that. I can tell you right now, as a pet owner, my dog is like my third child. I love my dog. That our dog is a member of our family. I love that sucker. She's great and everything. And I've had to put pets down because in fact our last dog, she was just really old, and they were just like, listen, you can take her home and she can suffer and die there, or we can put her down here. And it's so hard. So I get where Chris is coming from. It's like, it's so sad. But Eagly pops up. Look at him. He's so stinking cute. I kind of want an eagle now. I would never own it. I don't own exotic pets. They scare me. And he hugs him. And I was like, oh, Eagle, you little cutie pie. And she sees it. And then she has a memory of her being all like, an eagle hugged you. I call bullshit. And he's all like, well, I guess you just don't believe in miracles. And I was like, oh, I remember that scene from, I think, episode 2. Or maybe it was episode 1, because he goes home on episode 1. But and he's ugly, and right here you can see his phone right here, but he's trying to take a picture of it, and I was like, you should take a picture of it. It's so stinking cute. I legally, she's like, hey baby, I just saw an eagle hug of a human and everything. And she's like, I'm gonna stay and help, kind of thing. So she comes in and he's like, I thought you were leaving. She's all like, no, my wife understands. I'm gonna stay here. We need to take these butterflies down. And they're all like, we lost Myrna. And she's like, we have a leader. And they all look to Harcourt and everything. And then she's all like, listen, the butterflies, they can breathe our air and they can drink our water, but they can't eat our food. And the only thing they have is a cow, some kind of creature that they brought from their home world, and they transported it here. And it's in the caverns of that barn. Now, I just want to say real quick, there is a Twitter account called It's My Time to Shine Hello. And they tweeted this out, that a giant worm was going to show up in this episode. And they also tweeted out something else. And I'm going to share it with you right now, that Adebayo's dad is White Dragon. Now, I don't know if they put it out after the episode dropped, because I didn't look at the time frame and everything, but I should go back and look. So I have a tendency to believe that that's what's going to happen, because it didn't happen in this episode, but he could be wrong, or she, I don't know if it's a boy or girl. So and she's like, so they are going to go there, and they're going to teleport that from that barn somewhere else. So this is our last opportunity, because once it's teleported out of there, it's gone forever from us. We're never going to find it, and they're going to win. So these two have a witty banter. I don't remember what they say back and forth, but he does go, I like that we're doing this, like we're having this witty banter back and forth, even though he doesn't say it like that. And they're like, you in? They're like, yeah, I'm in. And then they get to these guys, and they're like, fuck yeah, let's go do this. And they're like, you're not coming. You're for sure gonna die. and then they walk out and everything they're like, we're gonna take your vehicle. And they leave, and they're like, they were nice. And they're like, yeah, except for that guy in the blue. And they're like, yeah, he was an asshole. Um, and so she's all like, "Hey, Peacemaker, I'm sorry about the diary." And he's like, "I don't want to talk to you. Okay, I don't like you." And then Diebeard turns on. I love how I call him Diebeard. He turns on the radio to rock out, and she's all like, ah, and everything. He's like, "It's never the wrong time to rock out." And I was like, "It's never the wrong time." Yeah, brother, and everything. So then back at the caverns of that barn, these guys walk in, the butterflies, and there's a huge freaking worm. Now, I just want to say, this is just me spitballing. I just want to say though, I did call that I thought that he was going to kill his dad, but that really wasn't like a a big reveal, because I mean, like, I think everybody saw that. But anyways, so I think this is like a baby worm, because if you look at its little twofers, that's like a baby little twofers that little kids have. That's just my thought. So this is this worm here, and it's, first off, it's homogenous, and there's its little teats, and they're milking it. So maybe it's not a baby because they're milking it. Can you? Yeah, you can't milk baby animals, can you? I don't know. I don't know anything about worms. Huh. And so they're milking it, and it's all like, ah, ah. And this is where they're getting their food from. And then that's where the episode ends. A small piece of me wonders if they're going to not kill the worm. They're just going to teleport it somewhere else because they don't want to kill it, because, you know, it didn't do anything wrong. These butterflies did something wrong. And I'm curious as to how these butterflies survived on their planet before it like got destroyed or whatever, off of these creatures. Like, how did they eat off this creature? Did they just like land on it like a mosquito, and then like they have their little things come out, and then like, and then just eat out of it, you know? Kind of, I don't know how that works. Anyways, but that is my breakdown and review, you guys. I just have to say, I really did enjoy this episode. It was very, very good. I cannot wait for next week and everything. It's going to be pretty good. I mean, I think it's going to be really good. Sorry, pretty good. It's going to be, I think it's going to be good. And I can't wait to see what happens. My only concern about this is, and I've said this before, is that James Gunn is doing this whole alien thing where the aliens attach them, like with Starro. The aliens, they attach themselves to their face to take over a host of humans. This one, they're entering an orifice. So I just go, I just don't want him to lean into that too often, because I just think you've done it before. You've done it twice. Let's not do it again, okay? Because it just doesn't work out if that's what you keep leaning on. In saying that, I enjoyed this very much. It's very, very good. I can't wait to see the last episode. And I'm kind of going to be bummed that it's going to be done. I kind of liked it and everything. Like, I just liked having a DCEU series that was good, because, you know, some of the movies aren't very good, like Wonder Woman 1984 and everything. But yeah, all right, you guys, listen. And next week, my review will probably be on Friday for this. Not late like this. I got to work late a couple of days, like really late, so I won't get home until like 4 a.m. So my reviews will be late. Sorry. All right, you guys, that is the end of this. Tell me what you guys thought about this episode. Did you like this episode? Did you not like this episode? What was your favorite part? Go ahead and leave all your comments in that section down below. If you like this video, go and hit that like button. You know, I won't mind. If you're new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it. And I will see you guys on my next Peacemaker breakdown review. You guys have a good day. Bye.